There are moments in life when we quietly sit alone and wonder, why is this happening to me? Sometimes we look up at the sky, searching for an answer that never comes. In joy, we forget gratitude. In pain, we question everything. Life moves like the river, calm one day, stormy the next, yet we rarely realize that every turn, every tide has already been written by the one who sees beyond our understanding. If you are facing something unfair or struggling to see light in your dark days, then this story is for you. Listen till the end, because maybe this story will not only touch your heart, but it might also change the way you see life itself. In a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and silent woods, lived a simple farmer named Elias. He wasn't rich nor famous, but he carried a smile that never faded. Elias lived in a small clay house with his son Noah, and every morning he worked tirelessly on his piece of land. Their farm was small, but filled with hope. Golden fields of wheat, a few hens, and a beautiful brown horse named Apollo. For Elias, Apollo was not just a horse, he was family, strong, loyal, and always beside him during every sunrise and sunset. People often said, Elias may be poor, but his heart is richer than all of us. One afternoon, a wealthy merchant named Mr. Barrett came to the village. He saw Apollo and was immediately captivated by the horse's beauty and grace. He offered Elias a huge amount of money, enough to change his life forever. The villagers whispered excitedly, now Elias will finally escape his poverty. But to everyone's shock, Elias politely refused the offer. He said gently, Apollo is not for sale. He has been my companion through storms and sun. How can I trade loyalty for gold? People called him foolish. They laughed and said, when fortune knocks, only a fool shuts the door. Elias just smiled silently, his eyes calm like a still pond. Days passed peacefully until one morning Apollo was gone. The stable door was open, the ropes were loose, and there were hoofprints disappearing into the forest. Noah and Elias searched all day, calling Apollo's name until their voices faded. But Apollo had vanished. The same villagers who mocked before now pitied them. See, they said, Elias was cursed by his own stubbornness. If he had sold the horse, he would have been rich. Now he has lost everything. Noah, with tears in his eyes, asked, Father, why did this happen? We did nothing wrong. Elias placed his hand on his son's shoulder and said softly, my son, we only see the present, but life has a much bigger picture. What feels like loss today may be a hidden blessing tomorrow. Let's wait for time to speak. Noah couldn't understand his father's calmness. Every night he sat near the stable and wished Apollo would return. Weeks passed, and one early morning, as the first light kissed the fields, Noah heard distant neighing. He ran outside, and to his amazement, Apollo was galloping back. Not alone, but with 6 wild horses following him. The scene was unbelievable. The villagers rushed to see. Elias, you're truly blessed, they shouted. You lost 1 horse and got 7 in return. They celebrated him, calling him the luckiest man alive. But Elias only smiled again and said, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Time will tell. With the help of his son, Elias began training the wild horses. It wasn't easy. They were strong, untamed, and stubborn. Yet day after day, Noah worked hard under the burning sun, trying to tame them. One afternoon, as he was riding one of the young stallions, the horse jumped wildly and threw him off. Noah fell hard, his leg twisting beneath him. The pain was unbearable, and soon he couldn't walk. The doctor from the next village came and said Noah would take months to heal. The villagers, who once called Elias lucky, now whispered again, see, these wild horses brought only misfortune. Elias has no sense. He should have sold them all. Elias sat quietly by his son's bedside. Noah's eyes were filled with tears. Father, now do you still believe this is for good? Look at me. I can't even stand. Elias looked at him and said gently, Son, I understand your pain. But remember what I always say, we cannot judge life in moments. What appears unfair today might protect you from something greater tomorrow. Have faith in time. Noah turned away, too hurt to reply. Weeks later, a dark shadow fell over the village. A war had broken out between kingdoms. Soldiers arrived, ordering every young man to join the army. Mothers cried, fathers begged, But the soldiers had no mercy. They took every boy from the village except Noah because of his broken leg. As days turned into months, terrible news came back. Most of the young men never returned. Families wept every night. The village, once filled with laughter, was now drowned in silence and grief.
One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, Noah sat beside his father and said in a trembling voice, "Father, I understand now. If I hadn't fallen that day, I would have gone to war too. My broken leg saved my life." Elias smiled softly, his eyes filled with peace. "Yes, my son, life never forgets to balance itself. We often call something bad because we see only the pain it brings, not the purpose behind it. Just as you once cursed your injury, today you thank it. That's how life teaches us slowly, through time. The seasons changed, the hills turned green again, and the air carried a sense of quiet wisdom. Noah, though still walking with a limp, started helping his father again on the farm. They raised the horses, sold a few, and lived comfortably. But more than wealth, Noah had gained something far greater: understanding. He had learned to trust the flow of life, no matter how uncertain it seemed. Months later, a group of travelers came passing through the village. One of them, a rich nobleman, noticed Apollo and was mesmerized. He offered Elias not just money, but a partnership to breed and trade horses across nearby towns. Elias agreed this time, not because he was greedy, but because he had learned that blessings come naturally when the heart stays humble and grateful. The farm grew into a prosperous stable, and soon Elias became known far beyond the village as the man who trusted time. One evening, sitting beneath the same old tree where he once cried for his lost horse, Noah asked his father, "Father, do you think everything that happens in life is already written?" Elias looked toward the horizon and said, "Maybe it is, maybe not. But what I know is that nothing in life is wasted. Every joy, every tear, every delay, they all lead us somewhere we are meant to be. The key is patience and faith. Because time, my son, is the greatest healer of all." The villagers often came to Elias for advice. They admired his calmness, how he never over-celebrated happiness and never drowned in sorrow. To those who complained about their lives, he would gently say, "My friend, when life feels unfair, don't rush to judge it. You're only seeing one chapter. Let time reveal the whole story." His words slowly became the wisdom of the entire village, passed down through generations. So if you, listening to this, are going through something that feels unbearable, maybe a loss, a rejection, or a failure, remember Elias's story. Remember that what looks like an ending might just be a beginning. The pain you feel today might be saving you from a greater pain tomorrow. And the joy you hold today should make you humble, because even that will pass. Everything moves in circles. Joy, sorrow, loss, love, all part of time's grand design. Maybe right now you can't see the reason behind your struggle. Maybe you're tired of waiting for things to change. But one day, when you look back, you'll realize every delay had a purpose. Every heartbreak was preparing you for strength, and every fall was guiding you to something better. Life is not unfair. It's just unfolding at a pace we don't always understand. So breathe, trust, and hold on, because time, no matter how slow, always heals, always teaches, and always balances everything in the end.